And literally as I start the stream, my washing machine decides, okay, let's turn things down a little bit. What were the odds?
Asked a few times, who's hand, Kizzy?
Yeah.
I'll be able to do qualifying until I start. But I did play Caesar. That's as far as I can go. And if it allows me, then I'll carry on. Otherwise, at the last, after the spots on golf for qualifying at the big race, I'll be.
Can't quite make out what you're saying. It sounds like your mic's breaking up.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me now?
Just about.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. There we go.
What means I spoke to see the Spotify joins us, yeah. But I completed the full race so for qualifying and this race stop, I'll be with you. If it allows me to not start
Right, so you'll just be here for qualifying and the race start.
Yeah, but if it allows, then I'll be here for longer.
Okay, no problem. And it looks like we are about to go live.
Looks like it. I wonder what Mexico is going to bring us. here we go. This is going to probably be the most boring 3 months of our lives. Getting home and knowing on the weekends there's no Formula One.
Yeah, especially when we have to wait until at least January for the car reveals.
Well, at least then, we start getting an idea. Place for the new one. It actually only starts in the middle of February.
Yeah, but at least for me, I've got the Formula E to keep me occupied until then. On that league, or because Latifi is getting Formula One seats in Williams, but the Fritz ain't. Oh yeah, he's going to be teaming. Yeah, Nicholas Latifi's going to be teaming with George Russell at Williams next season.
George Russell, yeah. But why didn't he skip a spot?
How did Latifi secure a slot? Because he managed to earn enough super license points to get a Formula One seat.
Oh. So the freeze.
He's in Formula E now.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he was going to go to Formula One.
I thought that as well. But hey ho, not much we can do about that now. But anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Fraser McKenzie here, and welcome to the start of tonight's coverage from the Extreme Racing League. It's Extreme 1 right now, and we are here at Mexico. And oh boy, it looks like we had a Williams and a Racing Point almost coming together, coming out of the pits. Oh my word, everyone's almost going into each other. But nevertheless, like I said, we are here at Mexico. 3 races to go after this. This is round 17 of the championship. And I am proud to say that with me in the commentary box tonight is the Jonathan Palmer to my Murray Walker from the BBC F1 coverage in the 1990s. It is Willem Mare. Willem, welcome back to commentary.
Oh, Kenzie, thank you very much. Hello, viewers. This was quite an exciting return. Caesar, welcomed me with open arms again, to say, let's go, let's do this. So, yes, thank you, Kenzie. This is an honor. I think it's going to be interesting last 4 rounds, including this one. And let's hope for some exciting racing.
Indeed, especially when we are another step closer to crowning our first Extreme 1 Racing League champion. So I'm just having a look at the standings at the moment, as Anthony Bauer is the first man out on track to get a lap underway. I am looking at the championship standings. Anthony Waddington has 219 points. Owen Lewis has 142. So that is a points difference of 77 points. Of course, bearing in mind we've got points for fastest lap, so there is a potential of 78 points on the table tonight. But Anthony Waddington could secure the championship this evening. All he has to do is outscore Owen Lewis. Regardless of where he finishes, he just has to outscore Owen Lewis this evening, and the championship is his, regardless of what happens over the course of the next 3 races after tonight.
Really surprised is which of I guess we've got Lewis, our points. Let's have a look at those two starters. What happened?
Yeah, and of course Anthony Waddington, because of his technical issues in Japan last week, he is going to be serving a qualifying ban, but he'll be looking forward. He said to me earlier this week he's looking forward to another recovery drive this evening as Pete Polini goes fastest with a 1:15.5. Great time from him. And in the Constructors' Championship, it is a lot closer in the Constructors' Championship compared to the Drivers' Championship. We have Red Bull at the top with 235 points, Renault second with 232, a majority of those coming, of course, from Anthony Waddington, and then Williams with 231. And look at that, the top three in the Constructors' Championship only separated by 4 points, and all it's going to take is one race result to completely change the complexion of the Constructors' Championship.
But it's always like that, isn't it, Kinsey? That's what makes it so interesting. You always need that one race result that throws a spanner in the works, and then it's exciting again for a few.
Absolutely. As we have this man in the Williams under the gamer tag Hoofed Penguin. This is Craig Poulton. He is, I believe he's making his debut this evening. Nevertheless, let's ride on board with him for this lap. He's coming through turns 1, 2 and 3. The right, left, right chicane at the start of the lap. Coming down the second DRS zone, heading towards turns 4 and 5. This is where Bottas and Raikkonen had their collision a few years ago. And then coming round turns 6 and 7, and then coming up to the S's. Very smooth through there. His ERS is he's out of ERS at this point, but hopefully he can get a lap in, because the last 2 laps he's done, they have been invalidated due to track infringements, such as the nature of the league, strict corner cutting in effect. But is he going to get a lap? No, he doesn't, and he's going to have to go again. That is not what he would have wanted. But nevertheless, here is one of the hometown heroes. As Waddington retires from the session. Like I said, he's serving a qualifying ban. But nevertheless, like I say, he'll be looking for a great recovery drive. Owen Lewis currently fastest with a 1:15.5. But like I say, this is Jorge. He is one of the hometown heroes alongside Irving Diaz and, of course, the boss of the Extreme Racing League, Mr. Cesar Lopez, who's currently 6th in the Racing Point, 1:16.3. Irving Diaz is still on a lap as well. So here comes Jorge coming around the final corner now, and across the line, 16.5 puts him 8th. Good lap from him. Here comes Irving Diaz, 2 Mexican teammates in an Italian team. That's a very unique combination, I would say.
I can see why. I think they've got something in common. Maybe some history between the 2 countries, which I doubt. But yeah.
Well, hopefully that's not.
Mexicans and Italian car.
Hopefully that's not the case. But nevertheless, Irving Diaz coming out of the stadium section around this long sweeping right hand at the final corner, and he comes across the line. 1:16.4. He's faster than his teammates at the moment by just over a 10.
Just.
So that's a good lap time.
Just a quick thing on Hoofed Penguin. Earlier today, I actually spent some time with him on track, and I must commend him. He's quite quick. But he just recently got a steering wheel, the Logitech version, and he stated to me that he's new on the wheel and he's only had the wheel for a week. But when everything goes right, he's actually quite fast. He's putting in competitive times. That was this afternoon though.
we could end up with a championship.
So I think he just needs a bit of a warm up.
Yeah, that's true. And this is one of those tracks where it's a perfect opportunity to do that, as Callum MacArthur in the Mercedes goes 11th with a 1:16.6. His teammate is Jamie Keats for this evening, as Callum Harrod is not racing this evening. But Callum will be very happy with his result from the Talk of the Devil race last night. Another win for Callum, and finishing ahead of Stephen, continuing to close the gap in the championship at the moment. But we're not sure what the championship standings are in the Talk of the Devil League at the moment, because they haven't been updated since Singapore. But Callum is definitely closing the gap. We could end up seeing that championship go to the final race of the season.
It'll be awesome. Isn't it quick one? Okay, so the Alfa Romeo didn't put a lap on it.
Oh yeah, that's Ben Hazelwood. He must have made a mistake somewhere. But we're about halfway. We're just over halfway through this first part of qualifying. Of course, we're losing the slowest 5 cars. In this part of qualifying, everyone electing to go on a set of soft tyres, which is interesting, because with a track like this, especially if it's a hot day, the soft tyres do not last long in hot weather conditions.
Yeah, it doesn't keep you the full quali session. Yeah, you lose grip to the end.
Here's Jamie Keats substituting in for Callum Harrod this evening. He's about to come into the stadium section now. He's about he's already a second and a half down. He must have made a mistake on his lap somewhere. But either that, or he's going to be coming into the pits shortly. But we're back with Williams of Poulton. Just gone through the first sector now. He's just gone through turn 7. Now into the S's section. 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and now about to head into the stadium section now. That's a good second sector time. And now here he is into the stadium section now. Let's see if he can actually get a lap time on the board. Coming around the final corner now, and across the line. He does get a lap time in, but it's not what he would have been wanting. So 17.3, he's just a couple of tenths shy of getting through to the next part of qualifying.
And he's doing another lap.
That is interesting. He's not going to have enough ERS to be able to... Oh, and he ended up cutting that...
it's going to be invalidated.
Yeah, he ended up cutting turn 2. That's definitely going to be an invalidated lap. Interestingly, Ben still not setting a lap time. I wonder if he's serving a qualifying ban as well, can you think of it?
This is such a nice track to race.
Yeah, especially
keeps you busy the whole lap.
It's like I said, like I was about to say, absolutely. Especially when you're coming up to the stadium section, as Poulton is right now. Especially the noise that the crowd will make when you have Irving, Holgate, and Caesar coming through that stadium section. The noise they're gonna make for their hometown heroes is just gonna be on another level.
But it's not an easy track. It's an easy track to drop.
Yeah, and So I've just found the incident report for the last race in Japan, and it turns out Ben is serving a qualifying ban because of turn 1 incident with Michael Booker.
Oh.
So that's why he's in the pits. That's why he's not out on track. So we could end up with 2 great recovery drives today.
Anthony and Ben Hazelwood.
Yep. But like I said earlier, during this part of qualifying, all Anthony Waddington has to do is outscore Owen Lewis, regardless of finishing position, and the championship is his. There we go, Ben.
It ought to be a good race.
Yeah, and there we go, Ben retiring from the session. So that's the back row sorted, providing we don't have any further grid penalties. But,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, but let's ride on board with Ivan in the Red Bull. Coming down the main straight here, this is one of the fastest and longest straights on the calendar, clocking in at 210 miles an hour before heading through the right chicane of turns 1, 2 and 3, coming up to the second DRS zone, accelerating through the gears, coming up to nearly 200 miles an hour again, clocks in at 199 before heading through turns 4 and 5, finishing the first sector very strongly. And now he just had slightly wide through turns 6 and 7. It's not quite hitting the apex of the corners, but here we go through the S section 7 and 8 and 9. And then a small rest before turns 10 and 11, making sure not to go too wide. And now into the stadium section. And then coming through, and then just kissing the apex of the next 2 corners, and then the long, then a tight right-hander, and then a sweeping right-hander to finish the lap, and across the line, 116.5. That is a great lap from him. That puts him out of the danger zone. So the people in danger of being eliminated are people in danger of being eliminated are Craig Poulton, Jack Smith, who's constant jet in the McLaren, and Gareth Lambourne in the Toro Rosso. Scott Young, meanwhile, managed to get to 12th with a 116.4. And we've got Irving and Jorge, the 2 Ferraris, on outlaps at the moment. Everyone. So this is interesting. Craig Poulton, he's on 7-lap old soft tyres. Would it not make more sense for him to put on a fresh set of softs to try and improve on his lap time? Because
for sure.
With tyres as old as he's got, I don't think he's going to be able to improve on his lap time.
I don't know.
But we'll wait and see what happens. Irving going slightly wide, heading into the stadium section.
He's doing a nice prep here, eh?
Yeah, he's
good prepping.
Yeah, he's turned the
Here
ERS
we
up.
go.
He's turned the ERS up, coming around the final corner now, and off he goes on a flying lap down the main straight. Oh, and Pushkar's out. Pushkar in the Haas is out of fourth. He's had a crash somewhere. Sector 3. Not sure what could have happened there. But they've managed to clear the car relatively quickly. As we're with Irving now. He's a couple of tenths down on his best lap time right now, but
yeah, but turn 3. We lost it here on turn 3.
So that's where it's...
Ooh.
And there we go.
Ooh, this is slow.
There we go, that's the end of qualifying. Slightly wide out of the S there. That might... Yeah, Irving's a second down. He might have just invalidated his lap as a result. Michael Booker's in the pits, so he's not going to improve on his lap time. And Jack Smith, he's managed to get himself out of danger. And, and that's Poulton. He's out of fuel. So he's out of qualifying now. So the 5 drivers we're losing from this,
Oh my word.
the 5 drivers we're losing from this part of qualifying are Michael Booker, Craig Poulton, Gareth Lambourne, and of course, serving qualifying bans, Anthony Waddington and Ben Hazelwood. I don't think Pushkar is going to be able to take part in the second part of qualifying with the crash that he suffered, unless he just retired, knowing. But I'm pretty sure that was definitely a crash because there were yellow flags out on the track. So Gareth will be a little disappointed with that qualifying performance, but hey, look at it this way. We could end up with 3 recovery drives today.
Well, that's gonna, but for different reasons, eh?
Yeah, because I
There'll definitely be different outcomes.
Yeah, I definitely think as far as the recovery drives to look out for are concerned, it's definitely going to be Waddington that will be the most interesting to look out for, because with the championship at stake, he could win the championship tonight.
That will be amazing. But previously in F1, I think 2 years ago, not this year, last year, Hamilton took the championship in Mexico as well.
Yeah, he managed to win his 5th world title in Mexico, and earlier this season at the US Grand Prix, he won his 6th world title, putting him only 1 behind the great Michael Schumacher. So let's just recap the order as it stands. Owen Lewis, Pete Polini, Caesar, Jamie, Dean, Ryan Forey, Anthony Bauer, Pushkar, JBL, Callum MacArthur, Irving Diaz, Scott Young, Ivan Jorge, and Jack Smith. And then you've got Michael Booker, Craig Poulton, Gareth Lambourne, Anthony Waddington, and Ben Hazelwood. So now it's time for strategy to come into play in this second part of qualifying to see who will start on what tyres. If you make it into the top 10, the tyres you set your fastest lap on will be the tyres that you start the race on. So it'll be interesting to see who goes for what tyres. And it turns out Pushkar is going to be able to start in this second part of qualifying. So it's good that we were able to get 15 cars in this part of qualifying instead of 14. But again, just like the last part, just like the previous part of qualifying, we're losing the slowest 5 cars from this part of qualifying. So it'll be interesting to see who.
And the 2 Red Bulls coming out together.
That's interesting. And again, Anthony Bauer first out onto the track, going for the mediums, as is Pete Polini and Ryan Forey, who are also out on track right now. It looks like Ivan, indeed he is, Ivan and JBL, both on mediums as well. It looks like a lot of the drivers are going to be going for the medium tyres to try and get a longer first stint, because like I mentioned earlier, this track, if it's a hot day, it is very easy to just lose grip on the soft tyres very quickly, depending on how hot the track is.
Yeah, there's a very small margin to get these tyres into the right spot for optimal performance, and Mexico, it's unforgiving on the soft tyre.
Absolutely, and Jack Smith, the only driver out on track right now on the softs. Owen Lewis, interestingly, going for the hards. The hards are about a second and a half slower than the softs. The mediums are only about 9/10 a lap slower than the softs, but we'll wait and see what happens. And then, of course, you've got And then of course, viewers, you've got the Extreme 2 race this evening to look forward to, and I'll be back on the track after serving my race ban from Japan after what happened in Russia. Let's just say the less said about Russia, the better. I mean,
Did you get a race ban, Kenzie?
Yeah, because
What?
I had to change my front wing 3 times and then I just rage quit.
You serious?
I wish I was joking. But in all seriousness, I will say this. I don't mean this in a bad way, but I feel like since I got a seat in the Talk of the Devil, seat before.
Well done on that. Congratulations.
Before Russia. Since then, I've had a feeling that I've been cursed in a way that I ended up crashed in the Talk of the Devil race. Crashed in the Talk of the Devil race in Russia. Rage quit in the Extreme Racing League the following night. Then Japan wasn't much better, but at least I managed to finish the race. Japan last week served a race ban. He's hoping, and then ended up and then after a huge shake-up in the rules for the Talk of the Devil League next season, which I'll run through here right now. Some of the big changes are there's gonna be a reduction in the assists that will be used. For instance, I mean, a perfect example is there will be no braking assists allowed. Which
perfect.
Means,
that's perfect.
Yeah. I'm uncertain on what's going to happen as far as the ABS is concerned, whether that's going to be whether they're going to continue to allow that or not. But
it won't make sense though to keep it, because if you take the braking assist away, you should take the ABS as well.
Which then runs the risk.
Sense.
Which then runs the risk of people seeing more tyre lockups.
Yeah. No, I agree 100% with that, because the league needs to progress, and the only way to progress is to force the guys to challenge themselves.
Yeah, because I had a word with Callum Harridge regarding the rule changes last night, and the reason for these rule changes is to give the league a more realistic experience, which, I mean, fair play.
I agree 100% with.
Fair play to him on that one.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, and I'm all for that. Not because I'm driving without any assists, but I just think, you know, this is Formula One. It is a racing simulator. We're all competitive on the platform. So the only way to get the league to progress, like I said, you know, is to force the guys to challenge themselves to become better. And the only way to do that is not being dependent on the system, but on your own skills.
Absolutely. And
yeah, no, I agree. But I'm still laughing at you for getting a race ban.
Yeah. I'll say.
Oh, Kenzie.
I will say this: in the grand scheme of things, I did let the anger and frustration get the better of me at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, it happens to the best. So that's why I'm laughing, because I know that I've done that. I have done that also. But it's just from you, of all people, I didn't expect to hear that.
I was about to say, of all the people you would expect to do a rage quit,
a rage quit, it's you.
The last person you expect to be on that list is
oh
me.
My word. Was it so bad? It can only have been so bad for you to rage quit.
Well, how
bad does it be?
Well, I was over a lap down. I had to change my front wing 3 times. Once because of what happened at the start, which is so often the case in this league. There's always someone that changes their front wing on the first lap. And then I ended up having a couple of collisions with the wall, causing more front wing damage, and I was just like, you know what, screw this, I ain't continuing anymore.
Oh my word, Kenji, I would have loved to see that. Is there any? Yeah, the stream is probably up still, eh?
It is up on the
Twitch.
YouTube. It is up on the YouTube channel right now.
I'm gonna go check it. I'm gonna go check that tonight.
Oh,
I have to see this. I'll leave a comment on the YouTube channel for you.
yeah.
Okay, but anyway.
But of course, some of the other rule changes coming into effect next season. Corner cutting will be set to strict, which again, and
Perfect.
Owen and Pushkar 115.8, but he is now out of fuel right now. But
Yeah, and on the softs, I don't think the softs is the right tire to start on there. I don't think so.
Does it? I mean, it looks like he will get through to the top 10, but I don't think he's going to last long on those tires during the race. Some of the other rule changes to take into account is the vehicle damage will be set to simulation, and it will include damage.
Oh.
It will include damage or failure to vehicle systems, and tire punctures are going to be a thing as well. So that's going to make things very interesting. And the tire temperatures are going to affect the surface and the carcass. ERS to manual. So that means
Oh, this is awesome.
That means if you want to go automatic ERS, tough luck. You're gonna set it to manual.
I'm so happy that they've done that.
And for the first time in the Talk the Devil League, every race on the calendar will be included, which means yes, season 3, folks, the Talk of the Devil League is coming to Monaco. We are gonna have a field day there.
Oh my word, you're gonna see race quits happening all over the show. It's gonna be 5 drivers on the next race because the whole grid's gonna race quit. Including himself.
Well, let's put it this way.
It's gonna be amazing.
Let's put it this way. I haven't had the best track record, pun intended, when it comes to Monaco.
You just had to say that unintended. As if it's like supposed to be there in the sentence.
Yeah. But the thing I'm very interested in is the points system is going to be having a slight overhaul as well. The fastest lap points are still going to be as they are. Fastest lap, a point for the fastest lap inside the top 10, and 2 points for the fastest lap outside the top 10. But just like in qualifying for Formula 2 and Formula E, there's going to be a bonus point on offer for pole position, meaning potentially 27 points on the card for the winner.
Wow.
And
pole, quality in pole, and then you get another points. That's awesome.
Yeah. And regardless of where you finish, every position will have points allocated to it. So first place is going to have 25 points as normal. Second place, 21 points. Third place, 19 points. And then fourth, 17, 5th, 16, and so on and so forth, right down to 20th, where there'll be just 1 point. So every driver, regardless of where they finish, will be guaranteed points on the car, on their in the championship standings. And the drivers are officially going to be signing contracts for the very first time as well. So,
like a physical contract, a piece of paper.
Yep, there has been a draft contract written up by one of our fantastic admins, Gregor Telford. Big shout out to him.
Wow. Okay, so how's that logistics going to work? Because I mean, if it's a physical piece of paper, they're gonna email this to the driver. Well, he's gonna sign it and send it back.
Well, the thing with that is the document was written up on Microsoft Word, and it's just a case of downloading the Word document, filling in your details, and then it'll be a case of working out which team you want to go with, how long you want the contract to be it 5, 10, 15, or the full season. And of course, there's a bit at the bottom of the contract stating that the additional terms you want on the contract and the driver status you want as well, be it number 1 driver, number 2 driver, or equal status being just let me race with my teammate, do not let team orders come into play.
What? How cool is this?
Oh,
when did all of this happen?
Well, well, with season 3 just around the corner, it's a case of let's see what we can do to shake things up a little bit. And pay attention, reserve drivers. Formula 2 is going to be part of the Talk of the Devil League for the very first time, meaning the reserve drivers are going to have the opportunity to take part in Formula 2 races. So how that's going to work is it's going to be a case of the Formula 2 races are going to take place at the same time as the Talk of the Devil F1 races, 8 PM UK time. The Formula 2 race format is going to be short qualifying followed by a 100% distance sprint race and a 100% feature race.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Okay, so if you want to get a seat in Talk of the Devil, you have to go through the reserve driver program.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you get promoted. You're not just going to get a seat at Talk of the Devil. You have to go through the reserve driver program.
Absolutely. And
wow. But that's right. That's the right way to do it.
And this is big. This is a big thing here. The post was put up just last night, just before the Talk of the Devil League last night. As of next season, there will no longer be an elite league, so we'll still have 2 races. We'll still have 2 races on the Saturday evening, but it'll just be Formula 2 and Formula 1. But even at that, still Formula 2 part of the Talk of the Devil League. Sign me up.
Yeah, but just a quick one. So Elite was a different league, but also under the TOTD name.
The Elite League was...
So they took that away and replaced it with the F2. So incorporating Talk of the Devil F1 and F2.
I don't think they could have done this any better. I mean, kudos to the admin team, especially the boss himself, Mr. Callum Harrod. Massive kudos to them for these massive changes which are going to be in place as of next season. And for the Extreme Racing League, we're going to have a draft system similar to that of the NBA, NFL, and NHL. So, how exciting is that going to be?
Wait! I missed you. What's going to happen?
There's going to be a draft at the Talk of the Devil Awards and there's going to be a draft at the end of season awards that's going to determine which driver goes where for season 2 of the Extreme Racing League. Okay,
alright. So NHL, NBA, and what? You mentioned something else? What's happening with that?
Yeah, the draft, it's going to be similar to that of the NBA basketball, NFL American football, and NHL, which is the ice hockey.
Yeah.
So, even that, how amazing is that? How amazing are these changes going to be?
Yes, I'm trying to wrap my head around it now, and I'm struggling, to be honest.
Well, it's definitely going to be very exciting to see who goes where for the Extreme Racing League.
It's epic.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a massive... talk about a shake-up before the new season. I mean, this is before the new... This is not just before the new year, this is before the new decade as well. And what I've just realised is we've been talking about these major changes more than actually focusing on the qualifying as it stands. But nevertheless...
Yeah, but 60% was about you rage quitting. 40% was new changes, 60% was you rage quitting.
That's true.
So, yeah.
But nevertheless, let's have a look at who's made it into the top 10. Jamie Keats, Anthony Bauer, Caesar, great performance from him, Pete Polini, JBL, Dean, Owen Lewis, Pushkar, Jorge, and Ivan. And we've got Irving Diaz, Scott Young, Ryan Forey, Jack Smith, and Callum MacArthur, who didn't set a time. Everyone in the top 10 starting on softs. That's going to make things interesting.
It's been a very interesting Q2, especially getting all this news. Okay, so Extreme 1, next weekend, I'm in the Mercedes, right?
Okay.
According to Caesar.
Right.
On a permanent seat. So I'm going to be joining Jamie Keats as a partner. So there's only 3 rounds left. So after that, all of these changes are coming in to play.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I have to be honest. It sounds so exciting when they bring all of these things in.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us in the Talk of the Devil community are very, well, not just the Talk of the Devil community, but the Extreme Racing League community, because of the partnership both leagues have. These changes coming into place ahead of next season, there's definitely a lot of excitement in the air, especially with the draft coming up soon. But nevertheless, last part of qualifying, and like I said, just at the end of Q2, everyone here in the top 10 will be starting on the soft tyres for the race. We've got a few drivers out on track right now. Ivan, Anthony Bauer, Jorge, Pete Polini, Caesar, and Dean. Got Jorge.
I don't think the soft tyre is the correct tyre. I have to say that again. I think they're going to struggle.
Yeah, I think we could end up seeing a 2-stop here today, unless you're good with tyre management. Realistically, I see a 2-stop happening this evening.
Yeah, no, the softs are going to leave you.
I mean, you'll be lucky if you get a third of the way through the race on the soft tyres. Jamie Keats, the only driver yet to come out on track, and as I say that, he's just come out on track just now. Ivan, there goes Ivan, just going past Jamie right now, heading up to turn 1, slightly wide, very wide through turns 1 and 2, managed to get through turn 3 without much difficulty, second DRS zone. Turns 4 and 5 now. Here we go, then turns 6 and 7, good line through there. And now through the S's 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Then a slight kink for turn 13. And 14, 15, 16, and last corner coming up, turn 17, there it is. Sweeping right-hander. And across the line, 1:18.1. That's a very slow lap time from Ivan. But Pete Polini, a 1:15.3. Great lap time from him.
I think it was used tires for Ivan.
That might more than likely be the case.
Yeah.
And Dean
He's
across
not that slow.
Dean across the line. He's going to have another crack at it. He invalidated his lap time.
I'm on board with Jamie Keats at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, he'll definitely be looking to try and get a seat in X1 next season.
Is he a reserve driver at the moment?
Reserve driver. Hopefully he'll be looking for a full-time seat.
This is Jamie Keats now, eh? We're talking about him.
Yeah, because he's in X2 right now, but he'll be hoping to try and get an X1 seat next season, depending on how the draft plays out for him.
Well, from next weekend, I'll probably, I don't know who else is in the Merc. I believe Callum is in the Merc as well.
Yep, he managed to secure a return to Mercedes after transferring to Ferrari during the Talking Devil mid-season. And before Belgium, he managed to get a seat at the Mercedes team. So a great homecoming for him, and he's been okay. He's been okay in the Mercedes so far, but with him being in the Ferrari.
So who's the permanent drivers currently at Mercedes?
I believe it's Pete and Callum. No, Pete Williams. Okay. My mistake. Right.
I know Callum is. I thought Jamie was permanent, but you just mentioned he's a reserve.
Yeah, he's a reserve driver, sir. We'll wait and see what happens.
Oof, that was close.
Yeah, Jamie currently second with 1:15.4. Dean fourth in the Alfa Romeo, 15.562. Owen Lewis, the only driver not to set a lap time at the moment.
He's going for another lap, Jamie.
That's interesting. At this rate, he's going to have no soft tyres for the race.
Yeah, no, I can't see him.
Apart from the tyres he'll be starting on.
I can't see these tyres anyway giving him a better time now. He's been on 3 laps already.
We've got, looks like we've got JBL coming out onto the track, as is Ivan's out on track as well. The two racing points of Caesar and Owen, both out on track as well. And it is Ivan from the Red Bulls that is out on track. So the top 10 as it stands is Pete Polini on pole, Jamie second, Anthony Bauer third, Dean fourth, JBL fifth, Pushkar sixth, Jorge seventh, Caesar eighth, Ivan ninth, and Owen Lewis yet to set a lap time, rounding up the top 10.
Invalidated. He's a 10th up on his time. Jamie keeps got invalidated that lap.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need to get those tyres changed to try and improve on his lap time at some point. Otherwise, he's going to be in a spot of he's going to be in a spot of bother.
Yeah, those tyres are done. I'm on board now with Masterplane. I can't remember his name. Apologies for that.
Yeah, that's
I would like
Owen
to see
Lewis.
what he's going to. Owen Lewis, yeah. So I wonder what he's going to be doing. He's also quite quick. But you can see who's on the wheel and who's on the pad.
What was that?
By the smoothness. You can see.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can see who's driving with the wheel and who's driving with the pad by looking at the smoothness.
Yeah, he definitely has. Yeah, you can definitely see the experience he has, and a lot of it coming through as this season has gone on. He's been locked in a very fierce rivalry with Anthony Waddington for the championship, but a couple of bad results for Owen Lewis were essentially game changers for the championship, allowing Anthony to continue extending his gap to the point where I've mentioned it a few times before, but all Anthony has to do tonight is outscore Owen Lewis, and the championship is his, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, the thing is, this is what we've said in the beginning. When I just joined on the commentary, and the guys were talking to the stream, that consistency is key. You know, it doesn't help you get 10 excellent results and then 5 very poor results, because that will bite you in the end.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why Anthony's season has been very consistent above everybody else, as Owen Lewis goes a 1:15.2, puts him on provisional pole, and as it stands, that'll be his 6th pole position of the season. But back to Anthony Waddington for a moment. Consistency, that's a bit of an understatement for Waddington, because he's got 9 podium finishes, 7 of them have been race wins, but Anthony hasn't won since Belgium.
Oh, but at least consistent points scoring?
Absolutely.
That's key. You don't have to win every race to win the championship. We've seen that now many times. Absolutely.
And that's why with 2003, for example, even though Raikkonen had less wins than Schumacher, Raikkonen was very consistent. He was almost double digits in second place finishes, and that's why he was able to keep the championship race right up to the final race in Japan.
Yep, that's it. That's it. I hope for a good result for both of them tonight. It's good to see the competition.
Yeah, and Owen Lewis in the pits now. Pete Polini, he's just under a 10th up in the first sector. Coming through the second sector now, and he's 3/10 up. We could end up seeing this into the 114s.
Wow.
What a lap this would be for Pete Polini if he were to pull this off. He could end up going into the 114s. But he goes fastest, but he lost a bit of time at the end. But it's a 1:15.228, 200ths faster than Owen Lewis. And Pushkar goes third. Pushkar 1:15.266. And got Jamie Keats out on
3, split by 2
400ths.
No,
400ths. Yeah, Jamie Keats, there's a 5 seconds left. He's not going to make it. Jamie Keats isn't going to be able to get a lap time in.
Oh my word.
Anthony Bauer coming across the line. He stays 5th for now. JBL is on a lap. Jorge's on a lap. And Pete Polini's just set his lap. Who's furthest round the track? It's Pete Polini, but he's going to be coming into the pits. Pushkar, he's turned it down as well. So it's down to JBL and Jorge to improve on their lap times. They need at least half a second to have any chance of making it into onto the front row. JBL's 3/10 up. Slightly wide heading into the stadium section. Not sure if that'll invalidate the lap time or not. Here he comes, round the final corner. And across the line, he improves, 1:15.3! Jorge doesn't improve, so Pete Polini in the Williams will take his first pole position of the season.
Well done. That's an amazing result.
A Williams on pole position in 2019. Didn't think I'd
Take a photo, it will not happen again.
Didn't think I'd be saying that in 2019.
Take a photo. You won't see this happening again.
JBL with his time, he goes 4th. Great performance from him in qualifying. Fingers crossed he gets a good result here. So let's recap the top 10. It is Pete Polini on pole position, Owen Lewis alongside him on the front row, an all USA front row
lockout.
Then you've got Pushkar 3rd, JBL 4th, Jamie Keats 5th, Anthony Bauer 6th, Dean 7th, and then you've got two of the hometown heroes, Caesar and Jorge, 8th and 9th, and Ivan rounding up the top 10. And now it's time to get ready for the race. There'll be a 5-minute interval to allow. There'll be a 5-minute interval to allow the drivers to stock up on any beverages they need throughout the race.
It's been an interesting qualifying session. I don't think it could have gone any better. I think it's going to deliver a good race. So
Absolutely.
I hope the guys get a good result.
Yeah, so here we go. It is round 17 of the Extreme 1 Racing League. We are here in Mexico City in Mexico. The city was founded by the Aztecs in 1325, and it's the oldest capital city in North America. And it is, of course, the home of the Extreme Racing League CEO, Mr. Cesar Lopez. And we've got it's a great circuit. This 2.67 miles, 2 DRS zones, and 17 corners, 7 to the left and 10 to the right. And that is Craig Poulton. Craig Poulton started up early. Craig started early. So that's not just when I was in the middle of my intro. But nevertheless, here come the lights. And when they go out, it will be race time in Mexico. Great start there from everybody else. And look at that. What on earth happened there? What on earth happened there? Oh my word. Absolute carnage at the start. What on earth happened there?
What happened on the race start?
What on earth happened there? And
Disqualification.
Pushkar disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. I just saw a huge collision at the start, and I saw one of the McLarens flying. And it was Ryan Forey. That was the McLaren that went absolutely flying, and there was a lot of damage at that race start. I really hope somebody gets that start on I really hope somebody gets that start on camera, because that is the sort of thing that you really can't afford to happen. And one of the drivers affected, and Dean's out! Through the S's. And Callum MacArthur's out as well! Anthony Watson does have slight front wing damage.
It's Roofed Penguin got a race ban immediately just after the race start. Caesar saying that's a race ban.
Yeah. You see, that's because he readied up before. That's because he readied up before the admin, which in this case is Caesar. But nevertheless, look at this. Despite the front wing damage, Anthony Watson is already up into 11th place. But of course, the other big winners off the start, Jack Smith in the McLaren, 7 places off the start. Gareth Lambourne, 9 places. Ben Hazelwood in the Alpha, 10 places off the start. And, there we go. Caesar's given the order to restart the race. Caesar's given the order to restart the race.
that's the right call to make.
Everyone leading the session, and I think we are going to be following suit.
Yeah, I'll just wait for an invite. I might not join the new race start, Kenzie. I'm just looking at my things on this side. But I'm happy I saw this happen. Yeah, Caesar's not happy.
And I don't blame him.
No, neither. You'll always have complaints, because now we restart for the guys that got the bad of it, and the guys that got the good of it doesn't want to restart.
Well, I mean that is definitely a huge turn up for the books. I'm still trying to get my head round. I'm still trying to get my head round that start. I mean, what on earth happened there?
Apparently, if I read all of these things correctly and I take in whatever is happening now, it seemed that Hoofed Penguin stood still on the race start, so the guys that came up behind him from the start swerved out to miss his car standing still, and that's where all the carnage happened.
And that explains why I saw Ryan Forey's McLaren go absolutely flying.
Yeah, so he hit the back of that car, and probably someone hit him, and I don't know, it was bumper cars by the sounds of things. I would have liked to say a few of these comments. That's but I don't think it's going to be appropriate.
Yeah.
For the stream.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, I say to keep it PG, it was they were taking comfort breaks. A lot of them were taking comfort breaks, and that's probably where all the carnage. That's probably why we saw so much carnage.
There was no comfort when the race started today. There was no comfort in the race start. So there was no comfort break. The guys were all yeah, I don't know, I can't say it on air, but it wasn't comfortable. Alright, that was an interesting return, I must say.
Yeah,
I didn't expect this much action on my return. Yeah. Kenzie, to you and to the viewers, I'm gonna have to greet you. It's still a bit of a mess here on my side, so I've got a few things to attend to. But thank you for the warm welcome. Caesar, especially, also to him, welcomed me back open arms, and especially for you as well. You know, having me in the commentary box alongside you after a very long absenteeism from my side. But I'm glad to be here. I will be in the Mercedes next weekend, driving. So I'm looking forward, and I really hope all the drivers have a good race tonight.
absolutely, yeah. So thanks for joining me, Willem, and we'll see you on the grid next week.
Definitely, will be online during the week as well for a few practice sessions. But until then, thank you viewers, and thank you Kenzie, and thank you Extreme One. It's been an honor.
So there we go. Great to have Willem Murray back on the commentary there. So we're just getting things set up right now to get the race back underway. So while we're waiting for that to happen, Anthony Waddington could win the championship tonight. All he has to do is outscore Owen Lewis, regardless of finishing position, and the championship is his. We're just in the middle of getting everybody back into the lobby. Still waiting on a few drivers. One of them being and I've just been informed that by Caesar as well that Craig Poulton, because of his early start, he's going to be getting a 5-place grid penalty for this restart. Still waiting on one more driver. And there he is, Cal MacArthur. We're just in the middle of getting the grid set back up, taking into account Poulton's grid penalty. Apologies for the delay, folks. We're just waiting to get the grid set up so we can get the race back underway. So here we go. Everyone is readying up. And here we go. We are almost ready for the restart. The Mexican Grand Prix. Yeah, so we're good to go. So, here we go. 2.674 miles of this circuit, 2 DRS zones, 17 corners, 7 to the left, 10 to the right. Some of the action zones to look out for. Turns 1 through 3, especially back in 2017 with Vettel, Verstappen and Hamilton. Then you've got turns 4 and 5, the collision between Bottas and Raikkonen ending both their races. The tyres, it's the medium, it's the middle 3 compounds, the C4, the C3 and C2. You're looking at roughly 21 to 22 seconds for a pit stop round this track. So here's the starting grid now. It is Pete Polini in the Williams on pole position for the first time this season, and then we've got Owen Lewis alongside him. Then you've got Pushkar third, that's his best qualifying performance of the season. JBL fourth. Oh, for Pete's sake. Then you got Jamie, Anthony Bauer, Dean, Caesar, Jorge, Ivan, Irving, Scott, Ryan, Jack, Callum MacArthur. We've just been informed he's getting a race ban as well. Michael Booker, Gareth Lambourne, Ben Hazelwood, Craig Poulton, and Anthony Waddington right to the back. We could be in for a recovery drive for Anthony. The championship at stake for him. He could win it tonight. Here come the lights, and when they go out, once again it will be race time in Mexico! Great start there from Pete Polini. Owen Lewis has had a good start as well. It'll be interesting to see who goes where, and looks like we saw something flying, but everyone's away cleanly. JBL, where did he come from? JBL now into the lead. Anthony Waddington already up into 10th. Where on earth has this guy come from? A little bit of contact. And are you kidding me? Anthony Waddington stone dead last up into 6th. Where on earth did he pull that stuff from? What a start from Anthony Waddington! Where in the blue blazes did he pull that from? JBL had a great start as well, and he is leading the race! I am at a loss for words here right now. So here we go, the running order at the end of first lap. JBL second, Owen Lewis third, second, Pete Polini fourth, Anthony Bauer fifth, Anthony Bauer fourth, Dean's fifth, Anthony Waddington sixth as Owen Lewis gets back into the lead. Ivan seventh, Cedar eighth, Jorge ninth, Jamie rounding up the top 10. Then you've got Jack Smith, Irving Diaz, Callum MacArthur, Ben Hazelwood, Michael Booker, Scott Young, Ryan Forey, Craig Poulton, Gareth Lambourne and Pushkar. Pushkar had a horrible start That was a front wing change. Gareth Lambourne with front wing change as well. JBL back ahead of Owen Lewis meanwhile. But a little further back. Look at this man, Anthony Waddington. Last to 6th. He will be out with a point to prove tonight. He wants this championship, but he can't afford to get complacent now. He needs to get ahead of Owen Lewis to secure that championship. Here we go on to lap 3. DRS is enabled there. JBL trying to play the slipstream. Owen Lewis trying to break the slipstream as well, and Scott Young's out! Scott Young is out of the race! Callum MacArthur with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. There is Scott Young coming into the stadium section. That's where he lost it. Not what he would have wanted. Not much we can do about it now. Michael Booker back in the session. Michael Booker plagued with technical issues all weekend. Look at this, you've got a 6-car train all going for the lead. Waddington is right on the back of Dean. He's going to have DRS. Caesar gets the fastest lap of the race. Meanwhile, Dean going to get past Anthony Barrel without much difficulty. They're side by side. Bauer shuts the door on him. And here comes Waddington on the outside of turn 3. He's going to have DRS. Surely he'll get past. Not quite. Oh, but Dean's gone wide. Can Waddington take advantage into turn 6? Yes, he can. What a fantastic recovery drive. And Caesar now up into 6th. Getting past Dean in the process. Up front, meanwhile, Owen Lewis right on the back of JBL. Pete Polini on the back of Owen Lewis. Meanwhile, here we go. Here comes the DRS. And Owen Lewis goes for it. And he takes the lead on the outside of turn 1. And now he can use the DRS to start pulling away. Anthony Waddington, meanwhile, he is now up into 4th. And what Waddington needs to do now is he needs to start reeling Owen Lewis in. Because right now, with the way things stand, Owen winning and in 4th, that will not seal the championship for them just yet. Oh, and JBL's gone slightly wide. Waddington right on the back. Here we go. Polini past JBL without much difficulty. Waddington right on the back. He's going to try and have a lunge into turn 1. Is JBL going to lose 2 for 1 here? There's almost contact. Anthony Barrow wants a piece of the action now. But Waddington, can you believe it? He's now into 3rd. Unbelievable! What a recovery drive from Anthony Waddington! Now, once again, he can start hunting Pete Polini down. That is a great recovery drive. From starting at the back of the grid. Starting at the back of the grid, Waddington is now into 3rd place. Dean with a time penalty. No DRS for Waddington this time around. But that gap's increasing. That's concerning. Pete Polini, meanwhile, right on the back of Owen Lewis. The more Lewis holds Pete back, the better Waddington's chances. And here comes Pete. And there he goes into the lead. Oh, but Lewis wants a piece of the action. Oh, he almost loses the back end there. That is going to allow Waddington to close the gap. And there it is. And Bauer gets past Waddington. This is a great battle for the lead. And we've got a great battle for that last podium position now between Anthony Bauer and Anthony Waddington. Battle of the Ants. Caesar now got technical issues as Jamie comes into the pits. Serving a time penalty. And now they can start working on it. That's Waddington back into... That's Waddington back into 3rd place. Waddington needs to start closing that gap. Pete Polini has got into the lead. Owen Lewis is 2nd. All Waddington has to do now is get ahead of Owen Lewis. Right now for Waddington, 3rd will not do it for him. If he gets ahead of Owen, then the championship will be his. as is Owen Lewis, and that means, for the time being, Anthony Waddington last to first. Can you believe it? Waddington needs to take full advantage of this now. And Dean's in the pits as well. All three onto a set of mediums. So you're looking at roughly 21 to 22 seconds. And right now, Waddington doesn't have enough. If he wants to minimize the damage, he's going to need to come in essentially now. And he's got Anthony Bauer right on the back of him as well. Is Waddington coming into the pits? Indeed he does, as does Anthony Bauer. Now let's see what happens here. There's the side change onto mediums and straight out, clean as a whistle. And where's Owen Lewis? He's coming down the straight. Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get him? Is he gonna get him, Lewis? Not quite! He's not ahead of Lewis just yet. And oh, that's one of the Toro Rossos. That's Gareth Lambourne. So that's Gareth out of the race. But now, this is where business starts to pick up. Waddington right on the back of Owen Lewis. The two championship rivals. They've had their fair share of battles over the course of this season. But now, Waddington has a chance to win the title tonight. He needs to start closing the gap. And Holgate and Ivan both into the pits. That means Pete back into the lead. Waddington, there's the DRS, wide open. Not close enough yet. He's turned the ERS down, so I don't blame him. He got a great run out of the chicane. Can he get Lewis into turn 4? Not quite. Jamie, interestingly, onto the hards, and it's a yellow flag to sectors 1 and 2. Oh, and that's JBL. JBL's had an off. And he has front wing damage. His right end plate is gone. Able to cancel out that gap. Caesar into the pits now. Craig with another time penalty. Here we go. Oh, he's going for it. Thought better of it, I don't blame him. The longer he stays behind Owen Lewis, the more that dirty air is going to affect him. Waddington tries to go for a lunge. He's a lot closer out of the S's, heading into the stadium section this time around. The sooner Waddington gets past, the more. The sooner Waddington gets past, the better his chances. And that's a great run. It's a great toe. Here comes the DRS. Trying to defend. Here he goes. Round the outside of turn 1. Is he going to get him into turn 2? And oh, they almost touch. Callum MacArthur into the pits. 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Owen Lewis almost loses the back end. Waddington has to be careful not to cause any issues here. And Lewis gets a time penalty! Oh, and Lewis has a time penalty! How crucial is that going to be for the championship? Not just for this race, but for the championship. He goes wide heading into the stadium section. Now all Waddington has to do is keep within 3 seconds of Owen Lewis. But he might not need to worry about that because here comes the DRS. He tries to go for the outside of turn 1. He's going to need to brake very late to make the move stick. Not on this occasion. But he got a great run out of turn 3. Is he going to get it this time? No, he can't. Owen Lewis still keeping Waddington behind. We'll see what's happening as far as time penalties are concerned. Nothing for Waddington. No time penalties for Waddington, which means all he has to do is stay within 3 seconds of Owen Lewis and he will overtake him on penalty countback. And that will all but secure, and that will secure the championship for him. Coming out of the final corner. Is he going to get past this time? He got a great run. And this time he goes for it. Oh, and they almost touch. They're going to be side by side heading into turn 1. Can Waddington get ahead? Yes, he can! Waddington is ahead! And as it stands, he will win the championship! What a game-changing move that will be! And now he can start closing the gap on Pete Polini. Look at the gap Waddington has already. JBL with a 3-second penalty. Owen Lewis has DRS, but he's nowhere near close enough to get past Waddington. But look at the time he's made up already! And he gets past. The time he made up. Jack Smith, he is coming into the pits. He's going on to the softs. The time Owen Lewis made up just on the straight alone. I think that's a sign that that he's got more straight line speed. Like I said, as long as Waddington keeps within 3 seconds of Lewis, he will take the championship. As long as Waddington doesn't receive any time penalties. We're almost at the halfway point in this race. Pete Polini still in the lead, 5.6 seconds ahead of this battle. Owen Lewis second, Waddington third, Anthony Bauer fourth, Dean fifth, Jorge sixth, Ivan seventh, Caesar eighth, and Jamie Keats ninth, Leanne Forey rounding up the top 10. And Waddington with the DRS. He's going to have a lunge at Lewis. But Lewis breaks later. Very well played from Lewis. But Waddington is going to have another crack heading into turns 4 and 5. Waddington having second thoughts about that move. He went for it, but he decided against it. Jamie in the pits, and he's out of the race. Jamie Keats is out of the race. He came into the pits and he retired. Real shame. Oh, but here comes Anthony Bauer, right on the back of Waddington. The battle of the ants. Lap 19 now. There is yellow flags in sector 1. What for? I don't know. I don't see anything happening. But here comes Waddington. He's got the DRS. Lewis doing very well to defend, but surely nothing he can do about this unless he breaks later than Waddington, which he does. And Waddington still keeping Owen Lewis keeping Waddington behind him, but Waddington is all over Owen Lewis like a rash, and JBL is out of the race as well. Yellow flags in sector 3. What could that be for? I don't know. Whereabouts is the car, if it is there? JBL had a great qualifying performance, but he is out of the race. I don't see a car. He is, well, he came... Just like Jamie, he came into the pits and he retired. And oh, there he is! There's JBL there. He is out of the race. Surely he's going to make the move stick this time. And again, Owen Lewis braking later, but Waddington back into second place, and Bauer almost gets past as well. What a battle this is! Owen Lewis trying to keep Anthony Bauer behind him. And as a result of this, Waddington starting to pull away. Bauer goes wide slightly. And Owen Lewis, crucially, has DRS, but so does Anthony Bauer. And here he comes. Oh, and Lewis shuts the door on him. Oh, a bit of a lock up there from Bauer. Waddington comfortably in second place now. He needs to start pulling away because he has seen how dangerous Lewis can be on this track. Bauer still trying to get past Owen Lewis, but he's not able to do anything right now. Waddington is trying to keep out of DRS range from Owen Lewis. Meanwhile, Owen's teammate Caesar is battling Ivan for 7th place. And Owen's in the pits. Very early. He's on to a set of mediums. He'll be trying to mitigate the damage heading into this final stint. Waddington already 1.3 seconds ahead of Anthony Bauer, but let's have a look at the distance. Waddington he's bang on 21 seconds. He's got enough to make a stop. He's got enough to make a stop and come out ahead of Lewis. That all depends on how far he can push these tyres. Polini's in the pits, as is Waddington and Bauer. And that means Dean will be in the lead of the race. Waddington also onto a set of mediums. Polini on mediums. Bauer on mediums. Where is Owen Lewis? He's coming down the straight. Is he going to get ahead? Yes, he is! Can you believe it? Bipolini getting ahead of Jorge into second place. But now this battle. Who has the fastest lap of the race? It's actually Pushkar who has the fastest lap of the race. How's about that? He stays out. Waddington got a great drive. Lewis getting past Holgate without much difficulty. Here comes Waddington. Gets past Holgate, and that's oh no! That's Craig Poulton. He's out of the race. He's been disqualified. What was he disqualified for? What was he disqualified for? Multiple penalties. One track infringement too many, and that's his race over. We're down to 15 drivers now on lap 25 of 36. Still over Owen Lewis like a rash. He's going to try and lunge into turn one, but he thinks better of it. Rian Forey into the pits, 15 laps on those mediums, and he's on to Sauce. He's going for the fastest lap. And there, Owen Lewis had a bad drive out there, turn three, and Waddington gets ahead. Laps to go after this. As it stands, Waddington will take the championship. He's 77 points ahead. He'll outscore Owen by 3, which will bring the gap to 80 points, and that will not be enough for Lewis to make up when it comes to the end of the championship hunt. Because the gap will not be, they will not be able to close the gap. Lewis not able to get past Waddington on this occasion. Past Waddington again, but Waddington has DRS. He got a great run out of the final corner. I mean, Lewis is aware that he's got a time penalty, but is Waddington aware that Lewis has a time penalty? Rian Fori, there it is, a 1:16.5. That gives him the fastest lap of the race as Waddington back into second place. As much as I want to pay attention to what else is happening on the track, I don't want to turn away from this because this is a great battle for second place. And Callum MacArthur's out. What happened there? Another one that went into the pits and retired. Has anyone been lapped yet? No, they haven't. No one's been lapped yet. But I think that's all about to change. Waddington again. He tries to go to the left. He went to the right this time. And Lewis almost contact between the two. Ivan into the pits now. So it's only the top four that are on mediums. Waddington won't get the fast. Waddington will not be concerned about the fastest lap. He'll be concerned about just finishing ahead of Owen Lewis, which he will do based on penalty countback. Waddington won't be close enough to make the overtake on this occasion. It's lap 30 of 36. Waddington's going to need to start managing his fuel. I think Lewis is very comfortable with his. But like I said, as long as Waddington stays within 3 seconds of As long as he stays within 3 seconds of Owen Lewis, he will wrap the championship up tonight, regardless of what happens. Lap 31 now, 5 to go after this. Lewis still keeping Waddington behind him. Irving with a time penalty. Does Waddington have any time penalties now? No, he doesn't. Waddington doesn't have any time penalties. Irving gets another 3-second penalty meanwhile. And there he goes, there's Waddington. Waddington does get a time penalty there. Now he has to get past Owen Lewis. Unless Lewis gets another time penalty. I think Lewis is close to getting another time penalty. 5 laps to go. They both have a 3-second penalty, which means the championship could go to the US Grand Prix. Michael Booker in the pits. Dean with a 3-second time penalty. 4 to go. Waddington went for the move, but Lewis not letting him past. And Lewis had a bad run out of turn 3. And Waddington gets past. People in it with a time penalty. There's yellow flags in sector 1. Don't know what for. Lewis is going to get past. Lewis not able to make the move stick. What a battle this is. 3 laps to go. Waddington is ahead, and as it stands, he will be the champion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's grandstand finish time. Two to go. Owen Lewis nowhere near able to make an overtake on this occasion. Waddington got such a good drive out of turn 3. As we approach the final lap, Pushkar with another time penalty. Owen Lewis right on the back of Waddington. Waddington needs a very strong drive out of the final corner. But I think Lewis had a good drive as well. last chance. Lewis goes for it. They almost touch. We're going to need to move away from this for now. And is Lewis going to get past? Waddington's still ahead. We're going to have to move away from this battle for now. And Lewis does get past. Pete Polini coming through the stadium section for the last time today. He comes through the final corner. He takes the checkered flag, and now we wait to see. Waddington won't be close enough. He's run out of corners. He's run out of laps. He's run out of time, but he crosses the line. He still finishes ahead of Owen Lewis. Anthony Waddington is the first ever Extreme 1 Formula 1 champion of the world. Can you believe it? It went right to the end. And Waddington, I don't think he'll be aware of what's happened, but he has done it. He is the Extreme 1 Racing League Formula 1 champion of the world. Nobody can take that away from him. 2 Americans on the podium. There's Pete Polini, the race winner. But it is Anthony Waddington who is the champion of the world. I am now going to get the podium in. And I've just realised I didn't go through the final standings. I just realised I didn't go through race standings. But, oh man. Absolutely fantastic. So we've got Anthony Waddington in and Owen Lewis. We're just waiting for Pete Polini now. Unbelievable. What an incredible climax to the race.
Outstanding, Owen. Fair play to Owen as well on that last lap, going side by side through that chicane, man. I was shitting it.
That, I mean, I think a majority of the race was just me focusing on that one battle. I couldn't focus on anything else.
Mate,
Yeah, it was fun.
we had a good battle in Austria, but this one tops it without a doubt.
Yeah. Congrats on the championship.
Cheers, man. Shame about
Yeah.
penalty. I knew you had 6 seconds, but
I was like,
if I'm gonna go out a race, I'm gonna go out in style, aren't I? If I crash, I crash.
I only
Fair play.
I only caught one of those 3-second penalties. I don't know where the second one came into play. It must have been towards the tail end of the race.
Yeah, I got the first one pretty early, and then I got the second one like halfway through. I'm pretty sure I can get rid of one of them because
There we go.
it's from
There we go. We've got the
that
whole
one, so.
we've got the whole podium here. So this is it. Here we go. Here we go. So let's just go through the podiums now. We have got Owen Lewis in third for Racing Point. We've got Anthony Waddington in second place for Renault. But the winner today for Williams is Pete Polini. Pete, massive congratulations on the win. Starting on pole as well and being able to take the win as well in a Williams. Not very often somebody can say that in 2019.
Right. Yeah, good day today. First pole ever for Extreme 1 and first win. I'll take that, so I'm very excited. Awesome. Been a long time coming here trying this, so I'll take it. Want to say congrats to Anthony for the championship, sealing that up. Awesome season, bud. Really good. Very consistent.
Thank you, man.
Great
Congrats
racing.
on your win as well, dude. You deserved it, man. Quality pacing, quality.
Yeah, fun race. So, yeah, nice job, guys.
I think it got lonely for you for a bit, didn't it?
What's that?
Yeah.
I think your race got a bit lonely for you.
A little bit, yeah. Although I wasn't complaining at that point. I mean, as much fun as I have running with you guys, this one I just was happy to kind of be able to maintain.
Yeah. So overall, Pete, how do you feel the race went from your perspective?
Oh, easy. Was able to just stay out of trouble and maintain pace, and being able to start up front had a huge advantage. I didn't have to really race with anybody too much, and was able to just kind of take advantage of some DRS zones and maintain a consistent pace and just kind of cruise. So it was pretty decent. Had good pace, good setup. A lot of work to find a good setup to make that a lot easier. So I'll give the credit there.
Yeah, well, the hard work certainly paid off tonight, Pete. Do you think this will give you a bit of momentum heading into your home race next week?
Absolutely, and I am a fan. I like Circuit of the Americas, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I think we're going to see some close racing. And as always, Master Play and Anthony, they're tough to beat. And there's more than a handful of other guys that are going to be vying for that spot too. So it should be exciting.
Yeah, well, listen, Pete. Thanks very much for your time, and congratulations on the win.
Thanks again. Great job on the comms again today, as always.
It's always a pleasure to be up here in the commentary box. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Our first ever Extreme 1 Racing League Formula 1 Champion of the World for Renault F1. It is Anthony Waddington in second place. Anthony, congratulations on second place and becoming the first ever X1 Racing League champion.
Thank you, man. I'm so glad to do it at their own Grand Prix as well in Mexico.
So yeah, I just want to put a bit more attention on the battle between you and Owen Lewis. How did you manage to keep within touching distance with him throughout pretty much the entire race once you managed to catch up with him?
I was saving ERS. I used a lot of it on start. My start was just too good. I was scared of hitting anyone because I'm like a point away from getting a race ban. So thankfully I didn't make contact with no one. It was quick through the second sector. He left me for dead around that second sector. I'll admit that. I just counteracted his pit stops and hopefully I managed to stay with DRS range, and thankfully I did.
So yeah, I think probably the biggest question to ask from this is when did you know you ended up becoming champion?
As soon as I crossed the line, I knew he had a 6-second penalty, and I had a 3 seconds.
Well, and with that in mind, do you think with after having the momentum of becoming world champion, do you think you'll be able to wrap up the constructors with Renault this season as well?
it's a big ask, a very big ask. There's a lot of fast drivers in other teams that are fighting for constructors, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how that plays out with USA next week. Ant, thanks very much for your time, and again, massive congratulations on the World Championship.
Thank you, man. Excellent job with comms as well.
As always, like I said to Pete, always a pleasure being up here in the commentary box. Owen, massive commiserations to you for not being able to keep the title race going, but a good job on your third place. How do you feel the race went for you?
I think it went okay. Of course, what could have gone better. Pit stops weren't great. I got caught up in traffic both times. I tried an undercut on. Actually, the first one was with Pete. We pitted at the same time. He came out on clear track, but I was stuck behind someone. So he was able to run away. And then second time, I was near. I tried to get an undercut on Waddington, and again traffic. So, but it was pretty fun at the end, battling with Anthony, and one of the most fun races I've had this season so far.
Well, it was definitely a fun race to watch from up here in the commentary box. Despite not wrapping up the constructors drivers championship this season, do you think you'll be able to deliver a good performance with Racing Point for the constructors championship?
Yeah, I'm not sure where we are exactly, but Caesar and I are working very hard to get points for our team, and hopefully we can end the season in a good position.
Yeah, fingers crossed that happens. And same question for you as with Pete. Do you feel you'll be able to deliver a good performance in your home race next week?
We'll see. It's not one of my strongest tracks, but I'll definitely put a little extra practice in this week and see what I can do.
Yeah, that we'll definitely see how that. Definitely see how that all plays out. Thanks very much for your time, Owen, and congratulations again on your third place. And Ant, just before you go, later on this week we're gonna get an exclusive world champion interview with you to go through your highlights on your road to your first world championship later this week. So definitely stay tuned for that, folks.
Do you know what day it'll be?
I'll speak to you. I'll speak to you about that once we finish the stream.
Alright, man.
Yeah, there we go. That is it for this evening's coverage of the Extreme 1 Racing League. Congratulations once again to Anthony Waddington for his second place that secured him the first Extreme 1 Racing League Formula 1 World Championship. And like I said, we're going to get an interview with him later this week to get his thoughts on his road to the championship. We'll talk through what day we can do the interview, and then we will take it from there. But in the meantime, from me up here in the commentary box, it's good night and thanks for watching.